Get on with it. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Well? Perfect. For glory! Whatever. Fine. Perfect. You require my assistance. Well?
First blood.
Whatever. Fine. Perfect. In glory for Asistencias. Whatever. The battle. What? What is it now? Whatever. For Ezalor! For glory! Get on! What? I can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. What? Glory from Asistencias. I can hardly wait. What? Fine. Whatever. Fine. Perfect. What is it now? I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. For Ezalor!
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Whatever. Hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Fine. Perfect.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Hardly wait. You require my assistance? Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Well?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Get on with it. What is it now? Perfect. Whatever. Fine. You require my assistance? Well? Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can
Our
hardly wait.
brethren's town is under attack.
Fine. Whatever. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
What is it now? I can hardly wait. Well? Whatever. You require my assistance? Fine. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. To battle. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. Perfect. Fine. hardly wait.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Perfect. You require my assistance? Fine. Whatever. Hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Can hardly wait. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. Can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. Fine. For glory! I can hardly wait. Fine. Well? What is it now? You require my assistance? Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Well? Fine. Whatever. Hardly.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Whatever. Fine. Get on with it. To battle. I can hardly wait. Perfect. You require my assistance? Get on with it. You require my assistance? Whatever. Fine. Can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Fine. Get on with it. Whatever. Hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. Whatever.
Aye?
What is it now? You require my assistance? What is it now? Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Well? Fine. Get on. Whatever. You require my assistance? I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Get on. Well? Get on. Fine. You require my assistance? I can hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. Perfect. I can hardly wait. For glory! Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Get on with it. You require my assistance? Get on with it. Well? I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Whatever. You require my assistance? Fine. Give glory for Staris Seda. Perfect. Whatever. Well?
Killing spree.
Fine.
Our forces are under attack.
You can hardly wait. You require my assistance? Whatever. Get on with it. Fine. Perfect. What is it now? You require my assistance? I can hardly wait. Well? Perfect. What is it now? Whatever. Perfect.
Our forces are under attack.
Well? Fine. Whatever. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. You require my... What is it now? Get on.
Our forces are under attack.
Dominating.
For glory! To battle! Perfect. Fine. For glory! You require my assistance? Get on. Perfect. Hardly wait. What is it? You require my assistance? Perfect. What is it now? I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Well? Fine. Perfect. Get on with it. Fine.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
I can hardly wait. Fine. What is it? You require my assistance? To battle.
Our brethren's town is under
I can
attack.
hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Get on. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever.
Our brethren's town is under
Fine.
attack.
I can hardly wait. Well? Fine. Whatever. I can hardly wait.
Welcome to our village.
You require my assistance? Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Get on with it. Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. What is it? Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. You require my assistance? Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Get on with it. Well, fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. For Dolaran! You require my assistance? Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Well, get on. Perfect. You require my assistance? Fine. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Fine. I can hardly wait.
Our brethren's town is
Fine.
under attack.
Whatever. Well, I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. I can hardly wait. You require my assistance? Whatever. I can hardly wait.
Our brethren's town is under
Fine.
attack.
What is it now? Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. Fine. What is it now? Whatever. Perfect. Well? I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. For glory! Whatever. I can hardly wait. What is it now? You require my assistance?
I wish only to serve.
Well? Perfect. Whatever. Fine. Get on with it. I can hardly wait. Fine.
Our brethren's town is under
Whatever.
attack.
Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. To battle.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. You require my what? Get on. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. You require my assistance? Get on with it. Well? Get on with it. Whatever.
Killing spree.
require my assistance? Perfect. Fine. Well? Perfect. Whatever. What is it now? Fine.
What?
What is your wish? Is someone injured?
You require my assistance?
Our brethren's town is under attack. Are you threatening
You
me?
require my assistance? Fine. I can hardly wait.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Hardly wait. Whatever. For glory! Fine. Perfect. Whatever. What? I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. What? What is it now? Well?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Get on with it. Fine. I can hardly wait. Well? Whatever. What is it now? Perfect. Well? Get on with it. You require my assistance? What is it now? Whatever. You require my assistance? What is it now? Well? You require my assistance? What is it now? Fine. Well? What?
Our forces
What
are
is
under
it?
attack.
Well? Get on. You require my assistance? Fine.
Our
What?
brethren's town is under attack.
Fine. What? What is it now? I can hardly wait. You require my assistance? What is it now?
Our forces are under attack.
Well, what is it now? Fine. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. You require my assistance? Fine. I can hardly wait. What? You require my assistance?
What?
Mega kill.
I can hardly wait. Well? I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. You require my assistance? What? Hardly wait. What? Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Get on. Whatever. I can hardly wait. require my assistance? I can hardly wait. Whatever.
I bow to your will.
All
What
gold
is it now?
required.
Where shall my blood be spilled?
Well? I can hardly wait. Fine. Whatever. Whatever. Hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. Perfect. Well? Whatever. Hardly wait. Perfect. Hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait.
Hello.
Get on. What? Fine. Well? What is it now? Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. You require my assistance? What is it now? Whatever. Well? What is it now? You require my assistance? I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. Well? Our fourth fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Fine. I can hardly wait. Get on. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. You require my assistance? Well?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
I can hardly wait. Whatever.
Killing spree.
Perfect. What is it now? Whatever. I can hardly wait. Fine.
Our
hardly
brethren's
wait.
town is under attack.
You require my assistance? Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait.
Killing spree. Killing spree. Dominating. Double kill.
What?
This had better be worth. Get on. Fine. Well, you require my assistance? Whatever. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Well, you require my assistance? Whatever. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Well, I can hardly wait. Whatever. Perfect. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. $4 on. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Fine. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Fine. Well, whatever. I can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Whatever. Get on. I can hardly wait. Whatever. Fine. Well, perfect. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. Fine. Whatever. Fine. You require my assistance? Whatever. Fine. Get on with it. Hardly wait.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
This had better be worth it.
Welcome to our village.
Well, what? Get on. Perfect. Fine. What? Perfect. What? Perfect. Hardly. Fine. Perfect.
town is under attack.
Fine. I can hardly wait. What? Perfect. Fine. You require my assistance? I can hardly wait. What? Hardly wait. Fine. Perfect. What? Get on with it. I can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Whatever. I can hardly wait. Perfect. Whatever. What is it now? Fine. Whatever. Fine. I can hardly wait. Get on with it. What is it now? You require my assistance? Fine. I can hardly wait. Perfect. To battle. I can hardly wait. What?
Double kill.
What is it now? Perfect. I can hardly wait. What? Fine. Get on with it. What? Fine. What is it? I can hardly wait.
Killing
What?
spree.
Fine. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. Fine. What? Well? I can hardly wait.
What?
Greetings, my lord.
You require my assistance? Perfect. Glory for Sedar. Whatever. Perfect. I can hardly wait. Well? What is it now? Whatever. Perfect. 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 Well? You require my assistance. What is it now? Get on.
Dominating.
Fine. What? I can hardly wait. What? Perfect. Fine.
Mega kill. Double kill.
Perfect. What is it now? Well? What? Get on. Perfect. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. Fine. You require my assistance? I can hardly Fine. What?
Own.
Perfect. Won't you have a seat?